about the ulnar nerve. As for the ulnar nerve, we need to know first of all that it comes from the medial cord, okay? And of course, again, that's part of what we took in the brachial plexus lecture. Oh yeah. As it goes down the arm, you need to know as well that related to the brachial artery, the ulnar nerve is medial to it. So you can see it right here. This is the ulnar nerve and it's medial to the brachial artery. As well, if you remember when we talked about the median nerve, here is where the median nerve switches from being lateral to the brachial artery into being medial to the brachial artery. Okay, so both of these nerves now are medial to the brachial artery. Now here I just want to talk about what the intermuscular septa is. Okay, so here you have the humerus, you have the anterior compartment of the arm and the posterior compartment of the arm. Yani you have the biceps here, you could say, and you have the triceps in the back. What separates the biceps and the triceps is simply something we call the intermuscular septa. This connects the humerus to the outskirts of the skin and the tissue that surrounds the arm muscles. Okay, this intermuscular septa is very important right now because we're going to be talking about the ulnar nerve and the radial nerve. Okay, as for the ulnar nerve, what we need to know about it is that simply it starts off in front of the intermuscular septa, the medial one. Okay, so there's two intermuscular septas. One is lateral, this is the medial one, and this is the lateral one. Here is where the ulnar nerve is going to come and it's going to cut into this intramuscular septa. So it's going to be in front of it in the beginning and then it's going to go and puncture inside it and go deep into it, like as if it's like it started off here in the top and then it cut itself into the intermuscular septa and it became posterior to it. So it started anteriorly, now it's posterior to it. And you could relate that to what? To the fact that it goes in from behind the medial epicondyle. So if you know the fact about the funny bone, that whenever you hit your medial epicondyle or your medial side of the elbow into something and you find that like you feel this funny sensation, this is caused by us damaging or hitting the ulnar nerve that is residing in the posterior side of the medial epicondyle. Okay. So when that happens, and the reason this happens is because the ulnar nerve runs from behind the medial epicondyle. And how did the ulnar nerve reach to become behind the medial epicondyle? Simply by puncturing the medial intermuscular septa. Okay, so when it punctures the medial intermuscular septa, it becomes in the posterior side of the arm, and then it runs behind the medial epicondyle. Okay, then it enters through both heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay. Remember, ulnar nerve, carpi ulnaris, everything that has to relate with the ulnar or the word ulnar. Okay, so it runs in between the two heads. As you can see here, here is the first head, here is the second head, and here is the nerve colored in yellow. Okay, under a covering that's made up by the two heads, which we call a cubital tunnel. So this whole thing that the ulnar nerve goes through after reaching behind the medial epicondyle is called a cubital tunnel. So it starts off anterior to the anterior in the arm, medial to the brachial artery, and then it digs deep behind and becomes posterior by going through the medial intermuscular septa, and then it runs posterior to the medial epicondyle, and then it runs into the cubital tunnel, which is simply made up of both heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris. And then it runs in between the flexor carpi ulnaris, which is this thin muscle right here, and the flexor digitorum profundus, which is this muscle, so it runs in between them. And finally, in the hand, it runs into the Guyon's canal. Something important as well is that we need to know that it goes above the flexor retinaculum. And that's it for the ulnar nerve. And it's fine. It's finally simple and easy. All you need to know are these couple of stuff, and inshallah, you're going to get the hang of it. Okay? Thank you so much.